have to do this next week.
There,
Anyway,
there are good versions too. So
welcome to the Bomb Squad podcast, guys. This is
Hello.
not a banned movie this week, but should it have been?
it should
Well,
be.
listen.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Bomb Squad. On the Bomb Squad, we talk about underappreciated and overhated movies because I feel like film criticism is a little bit too mean. And so every once in a while, we can't all be Josh. Every once in a while, there becomes a movie that comes out that's shitted on by everyone. And I feel like
yeah.
it's our duty to talk about this duty.
Oh.
That's
This
right,
movie was
guys.
duty-free, baby.
I'm using
Duty-free.
this is a PG show. But so today we're covering 2025's most infamous hated movie. Well, one of them. We'll cover the other one later eventually. Don't you worry about it. We're
Yeah.
coming for you, Abel. But today we're going to cover the other one. So we will see you right after this commercial to find out what movie it was. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Okay. Welcome back to the Bomb Squad, guys. As we were saying, we're covering this movie. This movie came out of nowhere, like a thief in the night, and it decided
Yeah.
that it wanted to have a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Record
So-
shattering.
And we weren't even gonna cover it, but I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? This is pretty much in our wheelhouse. We gotta kind of cover it. Also, it's
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime. It's not like it's going anywhere. So
Yeah.
today we're covering 2025's War of the World, starring Ice Cube and Eva Longoria,
Yeah.
and also
and the therapist from Step Brothers.
yeah, and the
Coulson is
Coulson from Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel's
yeah,
Coulson.
Coulson, yeah.
Damn, I bet you every day he watches that scene where he gets killed in the Avengers, and he's like, "I hate you, Marvel. I hate you
Yeah.
too.
Spat me
I hate
out.
how now I have to get this bag." But also, it was directed by Rich Lee. Rich Lee? I don't
Yeah.
think so. More like poorly. Rich Lee came from a music video game background. Yeah. As soon as I started watching this movie, I was like, "Has this guy done any other movies?"
Yeah.
Turns out this is his first. He comes from a music video background, and this
Kind
was
of a lot of them.
actually
Pretty
made.
prevalent.
Yeah, he actually made, like, even up until not that long ago, he made some pretty big music
A lot of-
videos.
lot
Like
of
he's worked with
Eminem.
Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eminem twice. He made the Venom music video. The one is like Venom. It's the only part I know about that song. He worked with Lana. He worked with Lana Del Rey on
Yeah.
some of her good songs.
Summertime or
And of course, he worked with the greatest actor of all time, Abel the Weeknd. And so this movie was actually filmed during the coronavirus in 2020, and then it sat on the shelves. It was actually going to be released in theaters, which we'll talk about later, whether it should have been or not. But before we start our discussions, William, why don't you set the stage for this War of the Worlds?
Okay. Well, Ice Cube plays Will Radford, who is he's like an NSA guy or Homeland Security guy. He surveils the world and
Yeah.
like keeps track of everybody. And then all of a sudden the aliens invade and he and his family have to try to band together to stop them using his techno gadgets.
Using a very
Which-
specific, yeah.
Using his Zoom meeting, basically.
Yeah,
Like, listen, if you I'll say the idea of, like, if you look back at those movies, like the original War of the Worlds or 1950s sci-fi films, a lot of them, like, the main action was outside, but a lot of the actual, like, scenes and dialogue took place in, like, the boardrooms or conference rooms or science labs, so it's
Yeah.
not that far out of the idea. And it is kind of an interesting idea that, oh, what if, like, we saw an alien invasion told through the perspective of someone from the NSA as they're trying to, like, handle this, like, once
going
in
on?
a millennia situation. But having said that, let's talk about the first issue with this movie. It's not found footage. It's like every 3 seconds they cut to just Ice Cube's face.
Just stuff. Yeah. His
He's
face,
just
for
like
sure.
right
It's like-
here. There's no screen or anything. It's just him looking at the camera, which is like, I guess that's the computer's angle, but it's not a POV.
Yeah.
It's not of the computer. They just put a computer right here or camera right here. which is the
Right.
funniest thing ever. It's like this
Yeah,
is your gimmick.
It's
so
like you
silly.
hacked into his computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone's, or he just watches himself on his webcam all day. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
which is
Which
possible.
yeah.
He's a live streamer on top of being an NSA super spy
And
or whatever.
the
Yeah.
my second main issue with this movie is that, like, okay, now before he started having meetings with Donald Trump, I was quite a big fan of Ice Cube. We love Friday in this house, and
Yeah.
also we
He took meetings
tolerate
with
all
Donald
about.
Trump?
Yeah, he was like, I
Oh
got
man, I didn't know
the.
that.
He was like, oh, Joe Biden didn't want to meet with me, so I had to meet with Donald Trump. It's like, well, why would Joe
About
Biden?
what?
Like, what are you? What are you meeting with him about? Last Friday?
You gotta
That's what
say,
you need to
you-
get on the ball on.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I won't. Even when I really liked Ice Cube, I wouldn't say that Ice Cube's thing as an actor is how expressive he is. And if
Yeah.
you're gonna have an actor where you're just staring at their face for 2 hours, like if aliens invade, this should not be the look.
Right. Yeah. He's
Like,
never scared.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he is
No,
not someone who's
he's
in
not-
danger
if
ever.
he's
you've
not
ever-
even. He has no emotion. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
only anger. And even
Yeah,
then,
I've been in,
he's so subdued.
like a
Yeah.
Zoom meeting where you're not really paying attention, but you have to pretend you are. Where you're like,
Yeah,
oh, that's a good point. Like that's kind of his like reaction to aliens, like
Right.
destroying
Yeah.
the Earth and trying
Like,
to kill his daughter.
look at watch. This is Ice Cube
Oh
in the
my
movie.
God.
He's like this, like, oh shit, aliens attack.
Yeah.
Click, click. All right.
And like at one point he like the most expressive he gets in the movie, and we'll get to it, but like he thinks that someone has died and like someone close to him, and he gets up and he walks to the back of the room and goes, "No." And that's it. That's all he does. I'll do an impression for you right now.
We'll talk. Let's get into this film.
Man.
One
No.
of the. Yes.
Yeah, okay. To
All
be
he
fair, there is a well. No, let's.
Well, let's
get
start
to
it.
when
Let's
we get
start
to
it.
Yeah,
You
let's-
see, you
yeah,
can't.
okay, so-
You can't even give Josh a little thread because he'll start spoiling the shit out of the
That's
ending. The
true.
first thing. So let's get into it. So at the very beginning, also it's very funny. Like we know his name is Will Radford because they show it in every single frame. Like he
Yeah.
signs in, he
types
puts
his
in
name
Will
so many
Radford.
times.
Even like, okay, I know I just said not to spoil stuff, but at one point he logs into the dark web and his dark web username is Will_Radford. Like nobody,
Yeah.
if you're on the dark web, you know it's on there because there's one main thing that you should never be associated with.
Right.
But anyway, so it starts off
He's
and he
clicking
plays
around.
this NHS agent, National Homeland Security, the best agency, which is also like, man, the PR from 2000 to 2025 about Homeland surveillance, not a great look, Amazon.
Right.
But it's very funny because like he's
Most
signing
Amazon
into his
movie
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's signing into his stuff, and then so that we know that he's Homeland Security, he Googles the Pentagon, and then he does a live look at it, and then he like presses a button, and it says Pentagon, no threat, and then he moves
Yeah.
on to another thing.
Ew.
And it's like, is that what NHS people do? They like go to the Pentagon every day and click a few buttons. They're like, no threat. All right, let's get on
Still
to the
good.
next
Still
building.
good, baby.
It's very. I mean, and it's very like in a video game, you'd have to do more work to like
Right.
scan something.
Well,
Like,
like,
what?
It's more so like, I don't think that they just let the Homeland Security guys like have a free for all as to what they're doing. They're probably like, hey, we're working on a case right now where we're tracking down this killer.
Right.
You like that's where your energy should be
Look-
going. Like they're just
Look
not
at
like
these
coming
10
in.
people on the
It's
ground.
also
Well-
like their threat level.
what's
is
Yeah.
funny
whatever.
too is we should kind of say too. It kind of shows most of the movie is just him in an office, but it's clearly not even a real office. It's just like a green screen of an office because
Yeah.
at
Oh,
no
yeah.
point is like because what you think is going to happen is like, oh man, War of the Worlds, aliens will start attacking, so all his coworkers leaving, he's the only one there. You never see a single coworker. I guess he just works from home for DHS.
He just has a little hall room.
Well, he
that works
doesn't-
in.
He doesn't work from home because he's like
Yeah.
he has to go downstairs. But yeah,
Yeah, there's clearly
And-
not, but you
At one
never
point,
see
he has to go
another-
downstairs.
Like, so it's
Yeah.
not even like
That's the big action he takes.
and I'm not even against
Which is true.
The gimmick of like a movie that takes place on a webcam. Like I don't know if you remember that John Cho movie Searching, which is like entirely him trying to find his daughter on a webcam, and it's like love it or hate it, that movie like has this like sense of vision, and it's in a real room. It's like you couldn't
Yeah.
even get Ice Cube in a room for 2 days to like sell that this desk exists. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, and
like
it's
if AI had
It's a scary movie,
existed,
too.
what this movie
Yeah.
did, it would be in like 99% AI. You know what I mean?
right. Well, and
Right,
then
right.
so he's like, and it's also it just feels like he's not really in the environment. Like they don't even give him a coffee cup to interact with. He's
Yeah.
just there.
Right.
He's always
right.
like, and
He's
so,
so hooked in. He doesn't
right
have time
after
for coffee.
he's done his important job of zooming in on the Pentagon, he like goes and looks for a terrorist, and he finds him right away. And then he like if he was working now, he'd be just like looking at Home Depots, and Trump would be like, "Yeah, look at them, they're there."
Get him. Yeah.
Um,
There's a whole
and
group
then
of
he
them.
goes to someone else, and he's like tracking her, and it says like, first of all, it says her name, and then it says her name's Faith, and then it says that she works as a scientist, and then it says that she's pregnant, and then it says threat level 0, and if you click on anyone, it says that.
Oh, wait, are you talking
But
about Faith? I
yeah,
think it says threat level not sure.
yes, it says
It's
threat
red
level.
and it says like unknown, and so you're like, whoa, who's
But like,
this?
and also like, if you click on any, like if he clicked on the Starbucks barista, is it also gonna tell him the job and their threat level? Like, how do they know all that information?
Right.
I mean, I
Uh,
guess so. Well, it's
uh,
based on data.
oh yeah,
It's because of all
okay.
the data.
Here's one more thing
Hello.
also before we get too far into it. When you're making your movie, your computer movie, you should probably get all your actors together and be like, "Hey guys, let's all collectively decide whether we're going to say data or data." so that there's not a lot
That
of
way we know
back
what
and forth.
they're hungry for
We're gonna
later.
we're gonna work on the pronunciation for the most used word in this script. Data. Data.
Or data, yeah. And they did not have
You're
that
gonna say
meeting.
it.
It was too COVID-y. So then he calls this Faith person, and it's his daughter, and he's like, "Hey, you're pregnant. Don't get oat milk. Get this kind of milk." And then she's like, "Oh, Dad, stop bothering me." And then he like hacks into her refrigerator, and he's like,
Yeah.
You're not eating enough protein." And all this, and this is kind of the one of the first problems with the movie is that it's kind of shown as he's kind of like it's
Controlling.
supposed to be a little silly, but it comes
Yeah.
off as so creepy and gross. Like what? Like because he's like,
He can
yeah,
access any camera anywhere. He's like
Yeah.
in the coffee
They-
shop.
they
He
also,
can go
like-
whatever place he wants to look at. He can hack into any system, anywhere, anytime. He's
Yeah.
really
they
good at his
basically
job.
treat it like a joke because at some point, I think like after this, he talks to his son, and his son's like, "Oh, are you still spying on people?" He's like, "Would you rather be spied on or blown up from a terrorist?" And it's like, I mean, I would rather take not being spied on. You know, like
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
like no cameras, and it's just kind of funny because I do feel like
Well, wait. Let's go back to the daughter since you
Yeah.
immediately jumped to the next scene.
well, you also
I tell
skip
you,
the fact
you
that
can't even give him a thread.
He didn't somehow he spies on his children obsessively, but he's finding out in the scene she's pregnant, and then he checks her Facebook that announced she was pregnant before. It's like, so he's spying on her constantly, but like
No.
this is the announcement.
He knows that she's pregnant because that's why he's calling her and saying you need more protein. He doesn't
Yeah.
know that she has a baby shower because she's gonna have a baby shower and she didn't invite him.
Right.
God, and that's
So-
on Facebook.
Yeah, and that's on
Yes.
Facebook. And so yeah, he yells at her, and then her husband calls her, or no, he calls her
fiance,
husband.
maybe.
Yeah,
It's fiance.
and he's
But
an
he's-
Amazon driver, which is really important later.
Dude,
Yeah.
this is the most Amazon movie ever. It's insane. It's all about data theft made by Amazon. And Amazon is so cool in this movie.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
It's about
This movie
data
is
theft,
unreal.
but it's good if Amazon and the government does it, but not if aliens do it.
Yeah. And so the brother-in-law calls, or the fiance-in-law calls, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're having a baby shower." So then and then it even cuts to Ice Cube like about to tell his daughter like, "Hey, why didn't you tell me?" And then it's also funny because he frames it as, "Why didn't you tell me about this baby shower? You knew I was gonna find out about it." But he didn't find out about this through hacking. He found out about this because they literally called him and told him, "Are you coming to the baby shower?" But
Yeah.
then he decides not to text her, and he decides to be more rational. So he hacks into her cell phone to watch her have a conversation with her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend, which is the most like we talked last week about found footage doing stupid things to like get exposition across, and like the boyfriend's like, you're gonna save the world, and then the boyfriend
Yeah.
sends his fiance an article about his fiance
Right.
in case his
She
fiance didn't see the
obviously knows about.
article. That she posed for a picture in front of the
Did she
most
just
green
article?
screened lab ever. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's
And
working on like a cannibal. It's something called like cannibal DNA, and
Yeah.
that's all you have to know.
She's-
Like
she's-
it's something called cannibal DNA.
she's working on an experiment called Deus Ex Machina that she's gonna
Yeah.
bring back later. It's a Chekhov.
Yeah.
It's the
She checks
PLOT
in,
device
yeah.
from Naked Gun. Yeah.
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 So then he like watches and the guy's like, "Whoops, sorry, I spilled the beans." And then she's like, "Have you even checked? Has he even made friend requests with you?" And then he goes to his Facebook that he hasn't logged in for 5 years, and then he clicks on it and he like accepts a Facebook friend, and it's like all of this is so creepy. Like this is not framed as like a supportive father. This is framed as like a
Right.
psychopath that's stalking you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy would be the villain in any rational film.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
it's-
Yeah.
Even if he comes around at the end, you'd be like, what a creep he is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
He's the
like,
problem for
but-
sure.
But in
Yeah.
this
Oh,
one,
well,
it's-
and we also forgot to mention, because it will come up, there is an anonymous style hacker that he's also chasing that he can't
Yeah.
find, and it's the greatest hacker of all time. And then, as Josh said, then he gets a phone call from his
son.
from his son. It's also like every time he
son
gets
buys
a
a
phone
video
call,
game.
He deletes his son's game because he's like, you shouldn't be spending your time gaming. And
And he buys a $300
Is he-
game.
why is he country when Joshua? He's like, you shouldn't be spending all that
You
time
shouldn't be spending all
gaming,
that
son.
time gaming, son.
I'm Ice Cube, boy.
I would
Welcome
watch
to the
Cowboy
rodeo.
Ice Cube would make this better.
Yeah, if he was wearing a cowboy hat the whole time, at least it would have given me something to focus.
That would have been fun. Yeah.
But and then his son is like, "Oh yeah, you still spy on people." Oh, and then his son is like, "Well, I want to make video games. That's my job." And Ice Cube's like, "You can't make any money making video games. You need to spy on with the
Right.
government." And it's
and
like,
also that never
why?
comes back up ever again. The video
Yeah.
games thing that
Yeah.
never comes into play.
Yeah, it's not. It's also like, and obviously, it's like you shouldn't want your kids to be streamers, but there are a lot of millionaire streamers these days.
Well, it's not only that.
Yeah.
That's a valid
It-
career.
It's
I
also
would
the
agree with
thing
it.
where like a lot of people when they tell like a lot of kids when they tell their parents like, "Oh, I want to work in making video games or AI or computers or something," the parents are like, "Well, I don't know what that means." So I could see that kind of hesitation, but the
Sure.
dad knows that you can make money off of living on a computer. He literally does it every day.
Right,
So
right.
it
yeah.
should he should be like, "Okay, I mean, if anything, if it doesn't work out, I'll get you a job at the NHS or NSA or
Yeah.
whatever." So like this is the best case scenario for you, Ice Cube. And then he's like, and so like the son is also, he's like, there's a part where he goes, so he says something, and Ice Cube's like, "You need to show me some respect." And it's like, respect, Ice Cube. You literally go through your family's
Right.
cell phone.
You don't
numbers.
respect anybody.
You don't respect anyone's privacy whatsoever.
But
And then
yeah, let's-
also,
like this whole, because it's not really part of the movie, but the whole thing is about this, right? Like this like mass surveillance panopticon, because the movie's kind of saying it's good because it helps like Ice Cube stop like the threat later, but also later you find out it's bad because they're gonna do a slightly worse version of it. Because I do
Yeah.
feel like in any like modern
true.
movie that involves like the government or military, like
yeah,
this will like come up in a way like in like the Dark Knight, you know, that's the whole thing at the end, like, oh, he can only find the Joker through it, but the moral thing is like it's evil to use it and it should be destroyed like immediately afterwards, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, that's how like a competent movie does it. Or like something like Transformers will be like, we've been spying on people for years, that's why we know the Decepticons are here. Like it'll mention it, but it won't be like, it'll just be like a bad plot point. But
yeah.
this movie,
Right.
the entire movie is about this, but doesn't know if it's good or not, and doesn't like
Yeah.
care. But it brings it up constantly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's
I
get
mean,
to it
it
because
is
that's like the end of the
intrigue.
film.
Yeah.
That Josh has continued to spoil.
That's not the end of the
It's
film.
like-
the end of the film is aliens eating
And
data.
then here's
like,
what Josh is like. Okay, but here's the credit thing.
But I'm
Here's my
saying,
problems
like,
with the credit.
like
When they
that,
roll the
that'll
credits.
come up through the whole
What
movie.
bothered me about the rolling of the credits?
I know, but we can't discuss it until we've laid the groundwork. Like you're trying to discuss the themes without like, because you've seen it, yes, but like I don't. I feel like now I'm having to tell you how critiques work. Like our audience who might not have, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. But yes,
like, you should almost
so
keep in mind
surveillance is
watching
bad.
because I kept trying to
Yeah.
figure out like what is this movie about, and it's not about anything. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of the point. But
It's
you're
relatively
you're
a
gonna
nothing
keep
movie.
trying to figure out what the message is before you realize there isn't
Right.
one. You know.
Yeah, well, let's
Totally.
we'll talk about the message
Okay.
at the end of the film. So, then she's also talking to the FBI. It's also very funny because, like, oh well, we forgot to discuss this, but at the beginning, Eva Longoria plays the NSA or NASA.
She's
There's
a
too many
NASA.
acronyms.
She's like a NASA spy.
She's
Oh,
too
yeah,
many.
oh, yeah.
she's like a
This
ground
is so
agent
funny
for
because she's
NASA.
like, "Hey, Ice Cube, you're my friend. By the way, check out this weather. Crazy, huh? Anyway, bye." You're
Well,
like,
and that's
the
to me,
craziest
that's
movie
like
I've
the
ever seen.
funniest thing. She calls Ice Cube, who works for the NSA, the National Security Agency, and she's like, "Hey, look at this like cloud," and it shows a cloud, and there's just lightning attacking all parts of the cloud. And she's
Right.
like, "Have you ever seen anything before like this?" And he should be asking her if she's ever seen anything like
Right.
that before. She's the scientist. He's just a dude who spies on everyone, including his children.
But it's like he shouldn't even be asking her. Like, why is it? I honestly don't know anything about NASA, and I guarantee you this movie doesn't know anything about
Yeah.
NASA because they don't know anything about anything. Why is Eva Longoria from NASA? Why isn't she from
Well,
like the Weather Service
or
from
even like
the
if
CIA
if this were a real
or
movie,
anything?
they could be in the same office, and she's like, "Oh, check out this footage." Like just some weird like
Right.
Yeah.
government
Or,
listen
like,
post or something. you
Maybe
know?
maybe she's also in the NSA, but she's like a conspiracy theorist. She's like, check this out, or something like. Maybe they both like conspiracy. I don't know. And also, keep that NASA thing in mind. NASA. I'm like them, not pronouncing that.
NASA, NASA, NASA.
Keep that NASA thing in
Keep
mind
NASA
because
in
I
mind.
do have a very funny thing at the end, Joshua. That's called a tease. But yeah, so then she calls them. She's like, "Look at all these things. That's weird, huh?" And then she does go like, "Okay, see you later." And so they just hang up. And then she's helping the FBI hunt someone down. Like,
Yeah.
she's trying to
Oh,
find
yeah,
this
he's
terrorist
the
person.
terrorist called the Disruptor. I believe.
Yeah, it's called a disruptor. It's like, okay, guys.
Yeah, very cool.
You can
name.
tell that they like sat in a room, like thinking of names, and then like the second day they're like, "What do we go with the disruptor?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine,
Let's
of
just
course.
do it. Let's make another music video."
Oh, I think we missed another plot point too with Dave, because whenever he's telling Dave not to buy games or do anything, he's like, "You have an education. You're in my house," and he's like, "I'm in Mom's house. You haven't let go
Yes.
of Mom in
Oh.
4 years.
Oh
She's been
yeah.
dead."
Oh, this scene.
Major.
And then also, there's this scene where he logs into his Facebook when he adds the boyfriend. He logs into Facebook and he checks the mom's messages.
Yes,
Or,
dead
like, he checks the
wives.
messages
she
to
left
the
him a
mom.
Facebook voicemail.
Yeah, she left it on Facebook voicemail, but he's been sending her messages that like never get.
Yeah.
Like it looks like she's blocked him, but then you find out later that she's dead. So like that's not how.
Yeah, they're not really
Facebook
clear about it
works.
when they first say it. Yeah.
Unless like the because then he tries to message his daughter and he finds out he's also been blocked by his daughter. But it's like, why did the wife block
I-
you? Unless
Yeah. I don't
They
think
think
that's
that
like a
when you
spy
die-
It's just incompetent. Like,
yeah, I think they think that when you die, Facebook like shuts down your account and doesn't let you send it.
Right.
But why would it do that? Like it makes no sense whatsoever. And then also like he's like it's also funny because this movie you could very clearly tell every picture is the same like 3 or 4 people. Like if they have a group shot and they need someone else, it's just Eva Longoria photoshopped in. They're also
I know,
all
dude.
photoshopped in. So there's different lighting on all of them. It just looks hilarious. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
I
yeah.
think,
Eva
like,
Longoria
at-
is,
at
like,
this
such a big
point,
part of his
he,
life.
yeah.
He does take a moment.
Who
to-
lives in Houston? Because if she's a NASA scientist, she would be in the NASA headquarters
This
in Houston.
movie
Right.
doesn't
But
know
she-
where
Yeah.
NASA is. Come
she
on.
make-
She
She
lives down the
she makes
street.
every single party that they have, but she lives in Houston. That NASA
Yeah.
paycheck.
No, but
Um,
this makes me sad because he starts like flicking through like family photos, like when he's going through his dead wife's page, you know.
Yeah.
And some of them, it's weird because she has like baby photos of Ice Cube. It's like,
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
would she have that? Yeah.
It just
Right.
made me sad because it's like, oh man, remember when Ice Cube was like a good stuff? Just seeing like
Yeah.
a young Ice Cube.
It's also funny because it's like the mom who supposedly died a couple years ago, but she has maybe like 20 photos on there. Like she does not have a lot of photos. So it's
Yeah,
like, wait,
yeah.
did you like why did you not have that many photos? Like why is Ice Cube able to go from like 1980 to 2025
It
in
just-
10 seconds?
Right.
It's
Right.
just, it's very set, yeah. But it just like the whole movie. Anytime an actor you recognize pops up, even Coulson, you're just kind of like, oh man, like he
Yeah.
used to be in something like where it just like feels bad to be watching them in this. You know, this movie
I
does
know.
make you feel bad.
I don't know because it's like oh man, Coulson, you used to be in that Disney show that's pretty much just this. It's not that much better. Like Coulson's not.
Yeah.
Coulson's not really rocking.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like even
He had a good run.
even like Iron Man is like
This is like Coulson's
Yeah.
like hell yeah, I'm in this.
like because we haven't really like I mean we've said that this movie's kind of nothing. It's just Ice Cube and a green screen. But like if you haven't seen it, like this has less production value and care put into it than like an angry video game.
Well, and that's
You know, like,
what.
it's
Yeah.
like it just feels like no one cared. You know?
So this was pitched
Truly.
by the producer from who directed Wanted, another bad movie.
yeah,
um,
Timur Bemempegov.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the way he actually pitched it is you can make a big budget action film on a TV budget. And so his whole
Yeah.
thing was like, look at what we can do, which is very funny because now we've seen what we can do and you cannot do it. So speaking of
no,
Coulson,
sorry.
he's now introduced because the FBI, which is also a very funny scene, because it has this girl. She was in Justified. Her name's Andrea Savage. She's been in a bunch of stuff, but she was also in Tulsa King. She's always like a
Yeah.
side character. She's been in a lot of TV shows, but she's like the FBI agent, and she calls him and she's like, "Wow, you did that in 10 seconds. You're so good at this, Ice Cube." And then Ice Cube's like, "Hold on, I'm calling
The
Coulson,"
warrant.
and she's
Yeah.
like, "Okay." Like I was like, why did her mood change? Like, does she not like him? Or and then it cuts to Coulson, and he's in his office working out. Like he's
Yeah, he's
He
got
like
like a
this-
he's like drinking a bottle of water really hard. Like,
yeah, he's like
what do you guys
he's like,
want?
hey,
Yeah, exactly.
FBI time, and then like the backdrop falls behind him.
He is
Yeah.
also
And
like
so-
we should say too the way they filmed Coulson. One, he's in this for less than 5 minutes, despite being technically a main character. It's
Yeah.
filmed like a guy doing a cameo, but he's like running late. So it's like where he's like,
Yeah,
happy birthday, Steve. All right, was that good? All right, bye. Like,
it
yeah.
is, and it's
Drinking
almost
water.
it's almost like an interesting. I do kind of want to see the behind the scenes of how this was made because it does kind of
Yeah.
feel like everyone is just acting how they're gonna act. Like there's no like real. It doesn't seem like there's direction because
Yeah,
some
they're not
peop-
feeding off of each other at all.
Yeah, there's like sometimes where they're reacting, but like the other character doesn't react to their reaction, so it just kind of feels
Right.
up in the air. And so they're all, and also like if I'm driving to an FBI raid that I'm gonna do and I'm in charge of, do not call my boss right before
Yeah.
it starts. Like I gotta focus, man. What the hell are you doing?
Right. This guy's
Um,
stressful, obviously.
Yeah. So then they're
Yeah.
like, okay, we're here to help. And then like Ice Cube is like hacking into everything along the way. He's hacking into satellite, or he's hacking into helicopters, into cars.
Yeah.
He's like, look at this. And then he's like, watch it, because he might be on camera. He might be seeing us. And it's like, okay, but if he sees you, you're in, like, you're outside his room.
we
What's
should,
he gonna
like,
do?
What's
Yeah.
funny too is he's not even doing cool movie hacking where a guy types really fast into like a DOS box. He's literally like clicking on apps like it's just like him like being like, how do I
Yeah.
open iTunes? On
I will-
like,
Yeah,
it's, like,
yeah,
it's never
yeah.
anything like he's just like, oh, let me just click
Like-
like friend request. Accept.
I would have given this
Yeah.
movie like 10 more points if he was like typing like this, like
Yeah.
Like every time, like you have to press the buttons. So
Right.
then they're hacking, and then they're like, "Open up!" And then they go in, and the guy they're like, "He's not here. What could he have done?" And so then a meteor. I was about to curse. But, we're 29 minutes. A fucking meteor comes in, and they're like,
Yeah.
it's also funny because it's like a meteor from the outside. But everyone's like, "What is that?" It's like it's a meteor,
Yeah.
guys. Like you know what it. And also, here's another thing about this movie. Like Josh mentioned Searching earlier. And Searching's a good movie because it feels lived in. The problem with this movie is like they'll just zoom up the camera, but also like half the time the characters are zoomed in like this. Like, why are you
Yeah.
talking?
Yeah.
And it's like there's no explanation for it. They just decided that they wanted to zoom in on her face. So she's
Yeah.
like, and then she's like, "What is it? What is it?" And so then Ice Cube, because he's a master hacker, guys. That's what you don't understand about this movie. He hacks into a satellite in space that has
Yeah.
a camera on the satellite pointing at other satellites in space. Because when you have a satellite, you don't want it to point at like the Earth or anything important.
Yeah.
You just
you're
want it
looking
to
at other,
point
yeah.
You want
randomly.
the cool, the cool
Celestial
drive-by
objects,
side
man-made.
view satellite camera. Yeah.
And we see like
Come
a
on.
bunch of meteors landing, and then Eva Longoria. It's also funny because like he's trying to call his because Eva Longoria is sending him messages, and she keeps calling him, and he's like, "Hey, there's meteors. They're attacking every major city. Every major target has been
Yeah.
hit." And she's trying to call his wife, or not his wife, his daughter and his son to save him. But then like the NHS is calling him, and like Carson is calling him, and he's like ignoring
He's
those
just
calls.
freaking blocking.
And
them.
it's like, I thought your whole
Dude.
thing was that you're obsessed with your job. I think you're
Right.
just obsessed with stalking your children. And so, oh, go ahead.
Like right here though, I think is when this happens. Like it's just whenever like the build, like because whenever the meteors hit, his like building shakes for a second before like everyone
Oh,
like, really
yes.
knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where like the camera zooms in really close to his like the frame of the computer that is only showing his face, and it looks
Right.
like the camera is going into the real world. And I did not know this was going to be a computer movie all the way through. And I was like, all right, we've been shaken loose. It's time to hit the streets of DC. Let's see what's going on. And then it just zooms back into the computer, and I was like, oh no, this is what we're doing.
They're like, back
Okay.
to hell,
Like
buddy.
anything,
Yeah.
no, because I think at this point, well, what is like, it's either right now or like he reaches his daughter and she's like right in the middle of it, right? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, before that, they also do the very famous found footage thing where, like, every time he logs into any computer, it's at the most important part. Like, he logs into, like, he clicks on a random YouTube video of a live news report, which is like, they don't have those on YouTube, guys. And it's like in a
Yeah.
different
like,
country.
now, I don't know.
And then this is the most egregious part. He goes to YouTube and he's gonna click on the translation, and there's two. There's like original audio, and then it says English subtitles, and then under it says English subtitles auto generated, and he clicks on the auto generated captions when there's already captions.
Right.
Those aren't
right.
gonna be correct, buddy. They just guess. Put on auto generated captions on this video right now and see how correct
Right.
they are.
the one black mark against this movie, truly.
Yeah, that's the only time I didn't buy it. But
They
also,
never treat
yeah,
like a barrage of like fucking what is it called? It's like stock footage of just like news reports of
Yeah.
the world with like terrible CGI like robots like digitized.
God,
and-
there's even one. I actually had to go back because it was like crazy traffic jams as people flee the cities, and it's like just like the cars aren't even correctly on like the road. It's like, God, you guys didn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
try for like this. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's
yeah.
it's like
The
paper
timeline of the
mache.
attack is crazy. Like it's
Yeah.
like every event that would happen in like an alien invasion movie just is happening constantly all the time. Like there's no structure to like what's happening with like the population or like
Right.
the destruction of cities. It's
And-
just like chaos reigns.
And I do want to be clear that though the meteors do crash, but if you're wondering like, well, what does it look like? If you got that app on your phone that lets you like shoot missiles at a video you've already made and like a Snapchat
Yeah.
filter, that's what every single one of the meteors looks like. It looks like they just
Yeah,
put
dude.
like an animation of a meteor on top of footage. But and then there's like a reporter and she's like, "Oh, look at," and then like immediately as soon as she starts talking, the meteor hits right behind her.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
"Damn, Ice Cube, you're lucky, man. No wonder they hired you.
Right,
you like
dude.
know exactly where to look." And so
And I think
then,
his reaction to the explosion is, "Oh man."
yeah. Well, and then,
What
oh
the-
man. So then he calls his daughter and he can't get a hold of her and he's like scared. So he calls the son and the son's like, "Hey, what's going on, Dad? What's going?" And he's like, "You need to get out of there. You need to get out of there." And I was like, "Okay, but where does he need to go to? Like, does he need to go into a
Right.
building? Does he need to find shelter? You just keep telling him to get out
Yeah,
of where
Right.
he is."
And you know,
But he's
not being
on
in a
the
house is
street.
best. Yeah.
And so then he's like running, and then like a meteor hits and he lands. And this is my favorite part in the whole movie because the sun lands like this. And then it cuts back to Ice Cube, and I was like, did he just pull a Zoolander when he got hit by a meteor? Like, what the hell?
He turned left.
Because it's like so. It's like, and I was like, what is like? Are you hurt? What's the hell is that emotion? And so then he gets up and keeps walking, and then he gets hit by a meteor. And I do think this part's a little bit imaginative if it was spoiled way too soon. Is that then he's like looking at the dot of his son, and then this dot slowly starts moving, and I was like, oh, okay, his son lived, which they should have like wait because it's literally like
yeah.
his phone breaks, Ice Cube looks at the dot starts moving, and also like how does Ice Cube
Yeah.
react to his son being killed? Nothing.
Dave.
No
Yeah.
reaction. Dave, are you there? And then his son calls and he's like, "Oh man, you don't know what I thought." It's like I probably do. I mean, my phone got cut off as I got attacked by an alien. So then it cuts. Well, and then Carlson's like, "Hey, pick up your phone, dummy. The world's being attacked.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're online with the
this is where-
president."
Again,
Yeah.
this could be like good in a real movie where he keeps getting calls from like the president, and this guy keeps hanging up because he's like too worried about his children. And I'm like, that would be like a good character moment in a movie where anything else is happening instead
In a
of
movie
just
where-
this,
Right.
you know?
Where actions had consequences. And
Yeah.
so then they're
where
like,
you care about the characters.
and then Colson's like, "Okay, get into this call with us, this Zoom call. Zoom works still. Who would have thought?"
Yeah, all good.
They're like, get into a Zoom call with Eva Longoria, and like Eva Longoria is at the test site again. She's part of NASA. Now, does she go with any other NASA scientists or with the military or with police or with FBI or anyone? No, she's just there by herself, just chilling.
She's a rogue
Um,
NASA agent, baby.
And like, also, it's so funny because obviously you got Eva Longoria, you got to pay for her, and so.
Yeah.
But in the context of the movie, if I called a NASA scientist and she's at a meteor crash and she's trying to show us the meteor, I don't ever want to see her face. I want to see the meteor that you're walking in front.
Right.
But like,
Yes.
Eva Longoria keeps flipping the camera back, and I wanted someone to be like, "Show us the meteor. What are you doing?"
Right. The meteors and the aliens are almost like a non-issue.
Yeah,
Like, they
they're
don't
just
even,
there.
they're
It's
nothing.
also once we get to the end and what they talk about, it makes it even funnier because it 100% comes a non-issue. But so
Yeah.
then,
Yes.
like, she's at the thing and she's like, "Oh no!" And then she's like, "Oh, we lost signal." And Ice Cube's like, "Let me set it up and connect her to the satellite." He's like, "Done." And it's like, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you have already done that with every single high-profile phone?
Right.
What are you doing, Ice Cube?
It's just
Um,
it is funny that like because it's him, Coulson, her, and like the president kind of ping ponging where it's like,
Yeah,
man, even when they go to like kill Bin Laden, there's like 25 people in that room. You know, and you're telling me aliens
Yeah.
are
Right.
invading, and the president is just on this group chat with this like DHS guy making $60,000 a year, and that's it.
I know.
Yeah.
And so then a tentacle comes out, aliens, and they're
Oh,
like,
no.
"What?" And they're also like, "What is that?" And I'm like, listen, I think aliens exist. I don't think they've ever been here yet, but I'm gonna tell you.
Sure.
And if I like found out they didn't exist, I wouldn't be super surprised. Like to me, it makes sense that they exist just because it's a huge universe. But they could
Yeah.
not. Like, we could just be an anomaly. But if I saw a giant rock and a big ass tentacle came out of it, I'm not gonna be like, "What the hell is that?" I'd be like, "Aliens! What
Right.
the fuck?"
Yeah, they almost
Yeah,
like,
I need to investigate
it's
further.
like in those
That's a non-trained
in
civilian.
like zombie shows where you're not allowed to acknowledge that zombies exist as a cultural concept. They're trying to do that for aliens,
Yeah.
but we all know the
But, like,
concept of
yeah.
alien, like that's
Yeah.
just part of life. You know?
Alien is a word, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
then
Yeah.
it cuts to the FBI agent, and she's got her handgun out, and she's like, "I think it's moving," because it opens out of the meteor, and it becomes the tripods, the famous tripods from War of the Worlds.
Right.
And also, it's
Yeah.
doing the the noise from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds.
Dude, yeah,
But-
they ripped it completely off.
And it does it like almost like they're trying not to get sued because it's always in the background and it's never
Yeah.
the focus.
And they don't really talk about it.
Yeah,
except
they
for a
don't
little
ever
bit.
mention it. Yeah. And so then
Yeah.
she's like, I can't hear. And then he's like, get out of there. And she's like, what? Shoot it with my gun? Okay. And she shoots it. And then the alien
Yeah.
destroys her. And like also, like Ice Cube is like watching her from like from her cell phone, but also from another helicopter that's just in the air. I don't know. He's in the air somehow, looking at this situation unfolding, and like he can't tell her to run or get out of the way or go down the street. Like, why isn't he helping
Yeah.
his friends?
Right. right.
And so then they're
Two
like, oh, and
seconds.
so then he's like, wow, she died. I can't believe it. And then his son calls. Then he answers, and this happens multiple times, and it's again. So it's if you ever want to see every found footage trope, watch this movie because it has them all. And his son calls, and Ice Cube answers the phone, and he goes, "You know I can't talk right now." And it's like, well, why did you answer?
Right.
Why
Yeah,
are
you're
you
your
answering the
boss.
phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the son is like, "Hey, Dad, I gotta talk to you about something really important." And he's like, "I can't talk right now." And he's like, "It's really important, Dad, but I'm not gonna say it
Yeah.
until you, for some reason, give me permission to say it."
Right.
And
Right.
he's like, "I
It's
told
just
you I can't
frustrating
talk
even
right
him.
now." And then he's like, "Dad, let me talk." He's like, "You can't talk." And then he just hangs up the phone. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, someone else is calling. Let me hang
Yeah.
up." And then I want at one point someone else to be like, "Hey, it's me, your friend from the NSA. Did you lock us all out? Why won't you let us in the
Right.
building?" What's happening?
We're on
Um,
lockdown.
Yeah. And so then the aliens start attacking and they're like, "What are we gonna do? What are we
And
gonna
then
do?"
he figures it out real fast.
Yeah.
Like
Well, he thinks he does.
I think
Yeah.
okay, it's either this or when he reaches this, but he gets up from his desk at one point, and I was like, oh my god, it's finally gonna be him like leaving his computer to go like try to rescue his family. He gets right back to that computer real quick.
Yeah.
And does
Yes,
not
he
leave
does.
again.
Yes, he
And you're
does.
like, did like Ice Cube get annoyed you made him like run
It's
once?
also-
And
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that again.
You know what's a hilarious? There's a part where it's even more egregious, but like he sees he talks to his daughter, and she got like trapped under some rubble, and so she's walking to the hospital, and he's like telling the son to go save her, and he's telling the boyfriend to also go save her, but like, what are you doing? Like, you all are in Washington D.C. Why aren't you going to save her yourself, Ice Cube? You
Right.
know where she
Right,
is.
and that's why I was like, yeah, like this would be anytime something exciting could happen in this movie, it immediately doesn't. It's just what it
Yeah.
was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
actually gonna be running on the street, like maybe the camera's in his face, whatever, but nope. He's just like, never mind.
Ice Cube,
Yeah.
Ice Cube maybe walks 0.1 mile in this movie.
Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
not-
He
does not get out of that
He
chair.
goes to check the break room. He's like, okay, I still have my waters here, and then he goes,
Right.
That's it's like, alright. Back to clicking on things.
Yeah, back to
So then I think the power starts getting shut off, right? Like that's
Right.
like they
Yeah.
start noticing like the aliens are going after like electronic like energy
they're
deposits
all
and,
the
like,
data
nuclear
centers. Oh, right,
facilities.
because
yeah.
he
They're
go-
taking
he,
the
He
data.
logs on Facebook and watches as like his photos are being deleted. He's like, no,
No, his wife's photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
In-
wife,
in
the
a
family
very-
photos.
In a very hilarious scene because he's like, he clicks on his Facebook. He's like, "Oh no!" He clicks on the Facebook. He doesn't try to save any of the photos, and they all like get deleted, which is not how that would work. Even if they got deleted, you'd have to refresh it before they got deleted. Or click on it.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know that much about computers,
also,
but I know more than
he's-
Ice Cube.
He's
Right,
like literally
right,
like a data scientist hacker, and he's just never been like, I should back stuff up because
Like all of my
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
To me, social media is forever like I'm a 60-year-old boomer, and I know like he is basically, but still,
yeah.
this movie-
But he's not supposed. He's supposed
he's
to
not,
know
he's
all of
supposed
this
to be a
stuff.
computer
Yeah.
expert
Right,
who would
yeah.
like,
And also, he's like, and then he like, so then all the pictures get deleted, and then he refreshes. It's like, do you know how to do anything? It's like, why would you
Right.
refresh?
So then we're introduced to like the major plot point of the movie, which is Data. This is
Which
when
is-
Data really
well,
becomes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ava
What
Longoria
it's all
calls him.
about.
She's like, "Oh, I captured one of their pets,
And also, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a tiny
And
little
it's
robot."
eating. It's like going over
She's
to like
like-
a USB drive and just eating data.
It,
whatever
it
that
literally
means.
like chomps the data.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
dang, 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 dang.
Right.
Data. And also, Evil Longoria calls it data, and Ice Cube calls it data.
Yeah.
So you're gonna hear both of them a lot. We're gonna keep that alive throughout this whole movie,
Yeah,
and so
please.
you could feel the experience of being annoyed that they
Right.
can't
Right.
decide.
But she's like, why are they so hungry for our data? Did someone turn on some sort of big data collecting device recently?
Yeah.
And then
Is that what attracted them to this data,
And-
which we don't know what they need it
And then
for,
the
but
son's
they
like,
do need it.
remember that really important thing I kept maybe almost telling you about?
yeah,
Now
Yeah.
it's time for me to tell you. The
Well, and-
government
Right.
spies on people, and Ice Cube's like, I know. It's my job.
I know, he's
No,
like, I do
actually,
that.
I hated this part because the son is like, oh, actually, your job is bad, but they're going to do even deeper evil data collection. And Ice Cube literally says that's fake news. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
He
fuck
does. Yes.
you.
Yes.
he had just come from his meeting with Donald Trump,
Right.
and so he was
Right,
like, I know
right.
exactly what you say in this. And also, like, it is funny that it's like Ice Cube, you spend literally all the time on your computer at the NSA, and you've never like looked around. Like, you know, it's also
Yeah.
like,
Yes,
You
listen,
have an idea?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% against the government for the most part, but I will tell you this. Even though I know at some points in our history the government might have been trying to do good, I would never at any point in our history, trust the government 1,000,000,000% in the way Ice Cube does. Where it's like, even the idea that they could take it just 1 degree from where I am right now, I can't believe it. It's like, well, it's not that hard of a deal.
But like they don't.
Yeah.
I don't even. And again, this is a bad movie, so it doesn't really matter. But at the beginning of this movie, Ice Cube literally can zoom in on a person. It'll be like Starbucks barista, age this, not a threat.
Yeah.
Here's their income level. Here's where they live. What is like the next step that he's
And-
like how is it worse than
Right,
what
what's
he
more
was already
egregious?
doing?
Because at one point, Coulson talks about the program. He says like, "Oh, it can prevent crimes," but they never say what that means, like in the real world, because it's supposed to take
Yeah,
place
there's no
like
examples of it.
But
5 years
like they're
ago.
already doing the like not a threat stuff. That's like
Yeah.
you're already doing Minority Report. I don't understand. And
Yeah.
in the movie's
Where it's
mind,
gonna
Ice
go.
Cube is good. He's a good guy. There's no explanation to what's like. Well, they could already spy on us through every phone, and the movie acknowledges that and thinks it's fine. Are they going to shoot us through the phone too? I don't understand. You know, it's like it never
Yeah.
specifies the evil thing Coulson is doing.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and so then Ice Cube's like, "Oh, well, then the son is also like, by the way, I'm the Tinkler or whatever."
The Tinkler, I piss all over the data.
Piss on your data.
That would have been
Oh.
better.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Ice
Flash
Cube
drive
figures
to
it out
home.
because he's like, wait a second. This hacker using kind of the screen voice changer, he just changes the octave and realizes.
I know.
That's
Oh,
what
this
it's
is the
like.
investigation when he's like trying to figure out the identity of like the YouTube hacker.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah.
I'm
And he had-
He, like, yeah,
stupid."
he slides it over and you start hearing his son talk. He's like,
And at no point
Dave?
does yeah. He also treats so this hacker that is on the FBI's most wanted list. They sent a whole
Yeah.
squad after him.
his mortal enemy.
And Ice Cube treats the revelation as if his son just got caught cheating on the SATs.
Right.
Like, come
Yeah.
on, Dave, you're smarter than this.
I also love like
we raised you better, son.
Ice Cube lives in the house with the son, and just never noticed that like next to the son's regular gaming PC, he has like a
This
like
rig.
a black box
Yeah.
like hacker setup, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
and so
no.
then he's like, "Oh, hey, Dad, I'm the guy, and they've been watching you." So then he like for some reason just starts going back in time, and he finds out that the original War of the Worlds from the '60s took place already.
Oh,
and
you know
they,
what?
like,
We didn't. I don't know if we said this, but at some point in here, they're like, "Oh, by the way, all the governments are going to band together to fight the aliens." They're calling it the War of the Worlds Initiative, and again,
yay.
Yeah.
I did shout "fuck you" at the screen.
They should have been like they're calling it the H.G. Wells War of the Worlds experience.
Right.
They're calling it the Amazon Prime Day deals are here initiative.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. War of the Worlds
Now.
edition.
They're like, it's crazy. We're getting attacked by aliens, but my Prime packages are still coming in right on time. What
Yeah.
convenience! Dang
This
it.
drone.
You know what? I would have liked this movie if every once in a while they checked in with Zuckerberg and Bezos, and they're just in Zuckerberg's like bunker.
Compound.
Yeah. He's just like
Underground
making
Hawaiian
people,
bunker.
you know.
It should be
Yeah.
like
They're like,
every,
Jeffrey, why are you here? He's like, I'm still alive
every
in this
time
universe.
It cuts back to the,
And in every universe.
the
Hello.
Amazon driver fiance, he's just pissing in a different bottle as he's like
Also, we
Yeah.
did forget to say this, but at the very beginning, the boyfriend calls the dad, and he's an Amazon driver. He calls the dad.
Yeah.
And the dad like reluctantly picks up. And the first thing the Amazon driver's like, "Hey, buddy, is this the package? It is. Perfect. All right, see you." It's like, why would you call your dad? It like reminds me of that Broad City episode where she's on a phone call and she hangs up. She's like, "Sorry, I had to take that." And the boss is like, "You made that call in the middle of
Yeah.
our
You
interview.
called me. I'm not. Yeah.
Like, why are you calling the dad while you're still talking to a customer? Bezos is
Right.
gonna take you to that compound and have you murdered, buddy."
Yeah. Well, but he did a
allegedly.
perfect job because he's,
Yeah.
you know,
He did turn
he's
it
an
in.
Amazon employee.
So then they find out that this happened before, and then he calls Coulson and he's like, "Hey, don't do this." It's like, well, I mean, he's probably not gonna help you, man. Like, he was breaking because then he like hacks into this into like what he's looking it up. He's like, "Wait, who did this?" And he hacks up and he finds out. Spoiler alert, guys! It was Coulson. Spoiler alert!
Yeah.
There's only 3 characters. One of them's already dead, so it's either Eva Longoria or Coulson, and it can't be Eva Longoria. 'cause
or
she's
the
pretty.
president.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
Or it would have been funny if it was the president.
Yeah, that would've
Well, I
been
thought it might have been the
funny.
daughter because her threat level was unknown.
Right.
Like at the
Oh,
beginning. So I,
I
was
think
like, maybe there's going to be a twist ending here. Like maybe she's actually
They
like
meant the fetus.
also in
threat
the
level was
super
unknown.
NSA.
That's
Like
what they
they're
meant.
all hackers.
William, I
No.
feel like you put more thought into that threat level than anyone else
Yes,
in
I
this.
did. I did.
You remember.
Says-
this
They don't
when it
remember that they
happens.
put that, to be honest.
No, and
Um,
this is where I think this is even Coulson's last scene because they're like, "How could you do this, Coulson?" And he kind of gives like the Jack Nicholson "Few Good Men" speech about how like I need to keep people safe, but he does
Well,
it
see-
on the way to the grocery store as a cameo,
Yeah.
so it still
Yeah.
doesn't.
He's like, "Hey man,
Give
we
me more
have
water.
this is what the government needs. We have to step in to help the people." No, hey, I ordered cheese. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Just leave it outside. No, don't come inside 6 feet. All right. Anyway, what was I saying? Cowbunga. But then okay, so Ice Cube is like hacking into all Coulson stuff, and he hacks into into a phone call that for some reason Coulson recorded, and the phone call's like, "Hey, it's me, the president. I don't think we should do this Goliath thing because it's against the law, and also to bring the aliens."
Yeah.
And Coulson's like, "Listen, I don't even care if it brings the aliens. I just want you to know I'm evil." Like,
You're right. He says
this is the most
he's airtight.
unnatural.
He says something about the data being like in an air continuum that's
But-
impenetrable.
But it,
It's like
it
what
really
does
is the
that mean?
perfect because as
Nothing at all.
like
These are
as,
just
That does
words.
not make sense.
Like Ice Cube is not reacting to anything, including thinking his sword are dead. Coulson is just not like he's like, "Yeah, I'm evil. It's really bad. Watch out, Iron
Yeah.
Man. Press square to escape the tentacles."
Yeah.
I know.
It's like just he does not care about this
He's
at all.
he's
you
like,
know?
listen. If the aliens don't attack us, we'll be fine. Also, I just want to be clear. I was promised Prime for life. Is that still gonna happen? Or
Yeah.
He's
Exactly.
like, "Hey, it's
Still on the
crusty.
table.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
crusty."
Yeah.
It's like-
At least get a gift card.
And so then, William, you said the magic word because that gift card is gonna
Yes,
come
sir.
up very soon. So then
Yes.
they're like, okay, we have to stop the Goliath, which is in the building next door to Ice Cube, thankfully. And this is the only
Right.
part that's realistic because then the president's like, well, let's blow up all of DC. Who gives a shit?
yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
"Let's just
So I was like, I know who's in charge in this one.
let's
Yeah.
nuke everyone and
Casualties.
everything." Yeah.
And then at another point they're like, oh, we shot one down with a missile, but then the alien head detaches and it just takes off, and they're like, they're all going to the NSA building. So they're like, we
Yeah.
have to stop the Goliath. And then so they get on a phone call. It's also funny every time they get on a phone call because you have to wait as he picks all the people he's gonna call. And it's like, this is the part you decided to be super realistic for.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
it's
and
literally
then-
like
Did we do the
adding
YouTube video
people to the
post
group
yet?
Chat. Yeah.
In which YouTube video posts?
He posted a video to YouTube.
No, we're not there yet. But
Okay, okay,
before that happened, because before that happens, they're like, we gotta stop Goliath, and that's where they find out. Or well, the way they find out the president is gonna attack, they find out that Goliath is where all the aliens are going, and then they find out that
Yes.
the aliens are
Yes.
half mechanical and half biological. If only Ice Cube knew someone who dealt with biology. Wait,
Cannibalistic DNA.
the daughter? That news article? This is all, guys. I don't know if you know this. This is like a puzzle, and we're getting all the pieces.
Yeah,
right?
dude. The clues.
And so
have already been
then
hatched.
they're like, okay, we need to get this over here and blah blah. Like, oh, and then he goes, oh man, you can help stop it. And then he goes, son, maybe you can help too. And the guy goes, a DNA, it's just like a code. It's like, no, it's not. It's not like
Yeah.
a code at all, buddy.
That's a pretty standard hacker like sci-fi line. So
That-
I'm fine
And that
with it.
is something that
Yeah.
a hacker would say. And then and then Ice Cube is like, hey, you guys go build this code. Eva Longoria help them somehow. I don't know. Make a code. And he's like, I gotta tell the president. And then he talks to one of the guys. He's like, hey, I need to talk to the president. Very important. And the guy's like, sorry, man, he's in the Zoom.
Yeah.
Which is also funny.
yeah.
It's like the NSA is calling you saying we think we have something. And you're like, I don't know, man. He's probably in a business. He's in a business meeting right now. He's trying to get another jet from Qatar.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, and so then Ice Cube's like, I don't even care about that. And so he logs in and he breaks into the Zoom hack, which is also like, hey, President of the United States, maybe don't have Zoom. Like maybe have a specific President of the United States program.
I mean,
So you don't have to have a subscription to Zoom.com.
To be fair,
Yeah,
in real
right.
life, all those guys got busted like on.
That is
signal.
true.
Like,
Again,
the
yeah.
government is
Right, yes.
fully incompetent and this stupid
If-
at this point. So it
Yeah.
really-
Yeah, it is true that
but-
the
but
most
movie's
realistic
not
thing is
about
how the
that.
government, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so then Ice Cube logs into the thing, and that's when they're like, okay, we're going to blow up all of DC. We don't care. And then he just logs out. It's like, why didn't you tell them what your plan is? Like, why did you even log in to that? Just to give
Yeah.
us exposition? Well, yeah, that's why. So then they call back and they're like, hey, we managed in the last 5 minutes to completely codify the DNA sequence of a human or of an alien so that we can
Yeah.
stop this thing. I'm surprised at how fast we did it too. But anyway, we
Yeah.
got it. And then they're like, you need to put it on a USB port because this virus that's going to kill every single alien, it can fit on like a 1 gigabyte USB port. And
Sure.
then Ice Cube's like, I
The,
don't
the
have
rabbit virus. They went old school. They had to
Yeah.
go with old school hacking.
yeah.
And he uses all of his son's little friends to like make this whole execution thing go on.
Oh yes, yeah, we forgot to talk about that. Yeah, so then he's
Yeah,
using his
he
friend.
bands together
Oh,
with his
yeah,
son's like
his-
hacker
Yeah,
buddies.
the hackers invite him to the group chat, and they're like, "What you doing, Dave? You selling us out?" He's
Yeah,
like, nah,
yeah,
man, my
your
dad's
dad's
gonna help."
NHS.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
what a
when
daddy.
and then the aliens attack them. But here's
Yeah.
the thing: I want to ask you guys because I noticed something in this. His group of friends, the other hackers, were those like contest winners or something? Because they're not lit professionally at all. They don't seem to have green screens behind them. Like they have
Oh,
real
when they show
bad
their little
footage.
faces?
Yeah.
what contest would be one to be in this piece of garbage? No, this
Yeah.
is like
I think it's like crew members or something because it's
This
like
is-
every single one of
this
them
is
is
like
just like
Right, it's like
members.
it's just 3 PAs.
yeah, because there's like if you look at
they
Ice
don't
Cube,
even
he's
get
very
names.
lit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
professionally.
they don't usually give contest winners names to be in the movie.
No, but I'm saying like in a real movie, you would at least like see these guys, and one would be like the funny streamer, and one would
To
like
be
they would
fair,
all be characters of some.
They
kind.
do have Starfire, and he gets killed, and also it's a guy for some reason. Starfire does not sound like a
Yeah.
guy's username, but who am I to judge? They're saving
You
the
know.
world. But yeah, like it looks like this. Like you see how William, me, and Josh have completely different lighting because it's just our house. That's how
Yeah.
the characters in this movie look.
Well, it would look like
And then they
this
all
if,
explode.
the backgrounds were also green screen.
Well, yeah. Well, see, but that's
Like,
the other thing.
There's more set decoration in all of our houses.
His set design, like they don't have those guys don't have anything in their backgrounds, and it's clearly real locations. Because one
Yeah.
guy, it's literally like this. This is the shot, and he's like, "Oh no, not the
no."
alien!" It's like,
Yeah.
why? Who
And then
told
it's-
you this
it-
was the
it just
right
gets
frame?
really white.
Yeah.
Just that's the explosion.
There's just a
right.
whiteout every time.
Yeah.
And then his son gets killed, and Ice Cube's like, "Oh no!"
Dave.
Not
That's when he
Dave,
gets up and
Ken.
walks to the back of the room.
That's when he gets up.
Yeah,
and
he's
Yeah.
like, no. Yeah.
no,
Crap. My buddy, I raised
my
you.
son.
Yeah, Dave.
So then they're like, well, that didn't work. Let's do the Amazon thing. So now they have it on a
He
flash drive,
hacks an Amazon
Mhm.
drone.
but he doesn't have a flash drive. So
Yeah.
then the son or the fiance is like, oh, I'm an Amazon driver. What I can do
Yes.
is put
This is
it
the
on
best
our
part of the
new Amazon drones, sponsored
sick
by
new drone.
Amazon.
It can
And
go
it
anywhere
can-
as fast as you want.
Yeah, and it could get to you within 10 minutes. And then he's like, oh, but you have to make an order. I can't just use this drone without
How do
you
you make an
making
order on
an order.
Amazon?
Yeah.
I'll show you.
And then,
Click, click, click.
but like,
Add
here's
to cart.
the funniest thing to me is that, like, because he's like, oh, here's a hard drive. I'm going to send it to you. But you need to make an order so I can send it to you. And then Ice Cube orders a hard you don't have to order a hard drive. Like, you can order whatever you want. It's not really going
Yeah,
to you,
dude.
Ice Cube.
Right.
So then they like,
He's like, well, do I need eggs? He's like, let me just, let
It'd
me
be
see
funny
what
if
Right,
deals
right.
they have.
Is
The-
the Criterion
the-
sale going on right now?
the fiance's like, hey, did you get it? And he's like, hold on. Have you seen these deals on Prime? I got to sign up for Prime first. Wow, I got free delivery.
He's like, wait, used like new? Do you
Myself.
think it's good? He's like, what
Yeah,
do you
I
mean
know.
used like new means?
What does refurbished mean?
They're like, wait. They're like, hey, Dad, did you get it on the USB? He's like, I'm watching The Boys. Man, final season this year. Huh? I can't wait for it. Well, at the time, it'd be like the first season because it's 2000.
Yeah.
So then they're like, okay. So then he starts driving it through the city, and like the aliens are like attacking it, but not really. And then
And
at
he's
one
so good at driving this drone. He is
Yeah.
awesome at it.
there's also a part where it goes up and an alien shoots it and it goes back down. It's like, why did you go up? Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Stay in cover.
But then it falls and it flips over. And then they're like,
Turtle on his
flip it.
back.
And he tries to press a few buttons, like, it's not flipping. It's like, did you have a flip button? What were you trying?
Yeah.
So
And
then
there's a guy. Yeah.
there's a guy in a tent. And they're like,
an unhoused man.
oh, and also at this point, because Ice Cube has to go downstairs. So he's given complete control to his children, which is like, man, I'm gonna have to say, you're not the best NSA employee, if I'm being honest. You like
Yeah, no way.
use
Well,
your
at this
abilities
point,
to
He's fired now.
fire-
He gets
Probably
fired.
fired.
He has been fired, yeah.
He posted on YouTube all the stuff
Oh,
about
that's right.
Coulson,
He did
and like
spread-
he blows
he did spread it
open the whole
publicly.
Goliath thing.
And people
Yes,
like,
and then-
DHS dad going lit? I don't know. Someone says
Yeah.
something like
Because
that.
it's also funny because that's the hackers all see him. They're like, yeah, that's so. Because he like exposes Coulson. He's like, you're not gonna be able to spy on anyone anymore. Well, the 1 degree more than we're already spying on people that we think is
Right,
good.
yeah.
And he's like, we're gonna. And then so like they show all the videos, and then it shows like the anonymous guy, and then it just has Ice Cube's face that someone has clearly poorly photoshopped in. Like this guy had 2 minutes.
An MS Paint cutout onto his.
Photoshop.
It's
Yeah.
not.
And then but it's also like, again, I know you just put your name on the dark web and so your whole life is ruined, but another thing, if you're on that dark web, probably don't have a picture of your face connected to it in any way, because again,
Yeah.
the dark, like the best case scenario is they're selling illegal guns and illegal drugs.
Yeah. You're like, I
That's
hope
best
it's
case
just
scenario on the
guns,
dark
not
web, yeah.
people. And,
Yeah.
It's also funny because it's like the producer, that Timoff, he produced Unfriended. He knows what bad stuff happens on the web. Ghosts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Go watch Unfriended. It's about ghosts. It's about computer ghosts. And so then they're like, okay, so he gets fired and he lets his daughter. And so his daughter's like, oh no, let's get this bum to help us. He's expendable. And
So
so
like, bum, go flip the drone. Let's hack his. So they're like, how do you know this homeless guy has a phone? And it sounds like everyone has a phone.
Someone's got a phone.
Which is
And-
true.
Yeah.
Most
The
homeless
fu-
people have
yeah.
cell phones.
they do have phones.
So
And
it's a
one of the
little
funniest
slow.
things about it is that okay, by the way, the missiles are coming. Like they have about 10 minutes to get there. She needs to get a hold of this bum and tell him to flip the thing so that it can fly away. Does she call him on the phone?
She texts him.
She does not. She texts him.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been funny if he was like, he just puts it down.
And he also,
Yeah, just
Like,
throws
what
it
the hell? So she
They
texts him.
also-
She's like, hey.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, we
Flip
can
it.
go flip it. And then he's like, I don't know. And then they're like, give him
Give
an
you-
Amazon
no,
gift
they
card.
say we'll give you free internet for a year, and he's like, so the government can track me. It's like clearly they're all already tracking you, man.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
They're like, and then they're like, no, let's give him this $1,000 Amazon gift card, and that.
And not only that, but like,
Yeah.
you have a cell phone. You're clearly not that worried about being tracked. Like
Right.
that's so that you
Right.
have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then they're like, here's an Amazon gift card. And he's like, let me do it. And then they give it to him, and then he almost gets killed, but then he still does it. It's like, buddy, you don't need to
Yeah.
do this.
And
For
also,
him. And
just
also,
say
like,
free
you're the
internet for a
government.
year.
They've already
Give
given you the
him-
money.
Like earlier in the day, he like completely expunged all of the hackers' like complete criminal records right before they got viciously murdered.
Killed. Yeah.
And it's like, why don't it's like, hey, if you do this, we will transfer $2 billion into your bank account.
Right, like, or
Right,
even just
right,
like 50.
yeah.
That like free internet for a year is like $500. Like it's like
He also doesn't have a home. Where is he going to use this
I-
internet? He lives in a
Right. You
tent.
can go to Starbucks and get Wi-Fi there.
I just it's so this movie like makes me feel bad for what they think of people and like life.
And even
It's-
worse,
Yeah.
like he
Yeah.
doesn't have a home. What is an Amazon gift card going to do? Like, where is he going to send it?
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so then he does it, and then the drone goes away, and so then and then like he gets the drone into the building and it's following him, and then there's a part where Ice Cube is like running, he trips, and he's like, "What?" And he like punches something, and he's like, "Oh, they're everywhere," and apparently that was an alien. I thought he just tripped like on a
Yeah.
or
It's like there's a
something.
tentacle coming out of the ground that's like flopping there.
and
Just
it
like,
doesn't
beep,
ever
beep, beep.
react to anything he's doing
It's
because
Yeah.
again, it's not
He
really
doesn't really
there.
fight it.
It's
It's
not
like
even.
it's like when you're watching a play and someone has to have like a fight behind a couch and they're just like fighting
Yeah.
nothing.
Right. Right.
That's
Oh,
the
it's like that
whole-
movie we made, the Bomb Squad movie where I get attacked and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, that
yeah,
had way more
exactly.
production
Yeah.
value and care put it.
that took a lot more effort than this movie did.
Yeah.
So then they're like, let's get it there, and then they do, and it stops all the aliens. Great job. So then
Yeah. All good.
now we can get to the very end, because like we've been saying the whole time, the aliens are so inconsequential to the entire plot of this movie that like once the aliens are gone, they're just like they're never really talked about again. They're not like, it's not like, oh yeah, that's good. So it cuts to several months later, and this is again, now we're gonna come back to when William was talking about Eva Longoria, because at the very end, like he's looking at everyone and they show Carlson getting arrested, and then it cuts to Eva Longoria, and it just says that she's been promoted to head of
Senator.
NASA.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like they didn't even Google what is the name of the head of
I don't
NASA.
know, NASA boss.
Yeah.
She's in charge of it now.
She did a pretty good job.
Yeah. But it's like, secretary, NASA, something,
Yeah,
and
CEO of
administrator. But no,
Yeah.
just leader, just
Yeah,
top
right
of
to the
them.
top.
This
Yeah,
is-
head of NASA.
Yeah.
This
Thank
is
you.
so like we watched like a lot of like randomly bad movies on the Bomb Squad, and I think like I don't know why I thought of this, but like the Matthew McConaughey Texas Chainsaw Massacre that took forever to come out because they fought to like keep it from being released because they like thought it
Mhm.
was like gonna damage their careers. That movie's like The Godfather compared to this, where you're like everyone in this should feel embarrassed that they were like part of it. It's like, why were they fighting to get it to come out? Like, because I know it was made 5 years ago, or do people just
Right.
not care anymore? Like,
I mean,
you know,
oh, are you fucking kidding me? If someone's like, "Hey, we'll give you $500,000, you have to sit in your room and read like 2 pages of dialogue," we're like, "Yeah,
Right.
fuck yeah, do it,
Just-
let's do it.
yeah,
Give me
it's-
some money."
it just feels like society's so degraded that they would be fine being at this. This movie
I-
feels like the.
I feel
death of
like you're,
arts.
yeah, you've kind of taken it in a different direction than I feel like this is just lazy ripoff.
I don't know, like it almost like
This isn't even the laziest War of the Worlds.
it makes me feel bad. Like the last time, like Star Wars Episode 9, where you're like, oh man, this just like feels bad. to
See, I don't know,
watch.
because like to me,
Yeah.
it's more depressing when it is a Star Wars, because like Rise of
Star Wars,
Skywalker,
like,
that
meant
movie
something
cost.
once.
Well, no, that movie
Yeah.
cost $250 million or whatever. It involved like there was a lot of people writing on it. There was a lot of people worked on it. Like Daisy Ridley, like her whole career is kind of made from Star Wars. And there's a lot of people who have attachment to it. So like to have such a lazy Rise of Skywalker where it's like we don't give a shit at all. This is all to sell toys. That's to me that's way more depressing than where it's like,
Yeah,
well, yeah, we didn't even
yeah.
try. Didn't
I
even
guess
try in
it's
this
true, and
movie.
it's not like you could. It's more like that had so many like crazy production and like fighting, whereas this is just like, oh, what you shouldn't have bothered making this. Like,
Yeah, to
Yeah.
me
you kind of
this
didn't make it. You
this
know?
feels more
Yeah.
rushed than anything. Like it kind of feels like to speak of Jurassic Park, it feels like they never stopped and were like, is this gonna work? It was always just
Right.
like, oh,
Right.
let's just keep pushing and we'll see what happens.
Oh, and I mean, they were making this during COVID. So, I mean, even if you're not even doing anything during COVID, it was hectic and weird
That
and
is true,
crazy.
and I guess
So I'm sure that it was
this
kind of
does
like,
feel way
we got to
more
make
like
something.
when
And
like
see,
those TV shows would be like, let's read the script for the final season that didn't get made. Like this is what that feels like. But
Right.
like they're like, no, we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
make it a real movie. I don't know. It's
I think it's also
Yeah.
like I think if this movie was made now, it'd be more of a sense of our current society. But since it was made in 2020, it just feels like everyone on
An
board was
artifact.
like, "Well, we're just sitting in our room. Like, let's make a like."
right,
As a matter of
like
fact,
like
I
a
did
proof
that.
of concept, but
I did that with
Dude.
Wellness Check, which was all online. It's pretty much like I'll put a link to it, a real link to it at the bottom. But it was actually we made it online. I worked with the actors over Zoom. They filmed it together, but they were living together, so it wasn't that big a deal. Or they were acting on a play together, so they were already like exposed to each other, so they were okay with it.
right,
Um,
it was kind of
and we like
within those
they
restrictions.
shot like we rehearsed it a bunch of times. They shot it, and then they sent it to me, and I would give notes.
Yeah.
So, Ian,
I think you got disconnected,
Andrew,
buddy.
you're muted. What did you
Better?
do? Yeah. I
Yeah.
get you now.
To me, yeah, I'm accidentally muted. I was too excited. To me, the issue isn't how this movie was made, because like I said, I think it's a good idea. It's more so that like they didn't think about it that much. It just feels so rushed.
I
Like
get- well,
It feels like a 48-hour film festival. Kind
Yes,
of.
yes.
It
I
feels like
almost-
that's like how I described
I
it to
would
whenever I was
respect
watching it
that,
earlier.
but
Yeah.
this feels more the fact that it's coming out now almost feels like, oh, we couldn't sell it for 5 years because we know it's trash, but now the studios are like, look at all the AI slop and garbage out there that people are willing to accept. This is like that, so it's like it's fine to release something this bad because now like people accept crap like AI art and stuff. You know what I mean? It's
I mean,
almost
I
like
will say I think that
it's
this
worse
is
that it was released now than it was never released. Or if it
Yeah.
had been released in 2020, people would be like, "Oh, that's cute. They tried."
I think it would have still been
Right.
bad in 2020. To be
No,
honest.
I mean everything
But
was bad
I
in
wonder-
2020. All of those read-throughs of like Parks and Rec were bad. I'm saying like, but this is more you'd forgive it more in 2020 versus now where you're just like, man, fuck you for like even putting this as a real movie on Amazon.
I mean, for sure, but I think like the audience reaction to this, like I know like what you're saying about like releasing something and it being such a weird time in society where like they think they could actually make money off this, but it's like I feel like the audience reaction has been like you didn't fool us.
Oh
Like I
no,
feel
no,
like
yeah,
everyone
the
recognizes
negative
that this is
reaction
like total
there.
trash.
And like people
Yeah.
are rejecting, and people don't want AI art. It's more like corporations think they can like fire all the artists and just
Right.
make AI art, and it's
Sure.
almost
Yeah,
like this feels in line with that. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
I
people
kind of-
accept trash this bad.
but I see
Yeah.
like, but also, I mean, we have to be realistic. Like this movie was dumped on Amazon Prime. They weren't exactly like putting an ad. Like there was no previews
That's
of this
true.
movie.
Maybe
It just
it
kind
I
of
only
haven't seen any
became
billboards around
famous.
town.
They're just like just content for the content.
like I don't think Amazon Prime was like, oh, this is the one that's gonna take us to the next
Right. I
level.
guess-
They're like,
Yeah,
And again,
here's some
and-
slop for
and
the slopping.
I still don't think that calling it the death of art is over dramatic because if you like, the only like time I ever really watch like Netflix is like around Christmas. My wife will get into those like Christmas movies, and you can even see like this slide of those getting worse and lazier. And it almost like this feels like the end point of that, where it's like just no effort, and it's just like, what are these streaming
Yeah.
services doing to us?
Yeah.
What have they done to us?
Yeah, and I mean, and it is like, and I think about that sometimes, where like as me when we were in college before Netflix and all the streaming services became a thing, like I would probably watch a good amount. I would say like 75% of the movies released in theaters, like just because I like to watch movies.
Yeah.
And I think about this that like now there's like Amazon or Netflix probably does 52 movies a year at minimum, you know.
Yeah.
Where it's like before you think about Warner Brothers, like the big studios, they would release maybe 10 movies a year, you know. And
Right.
so like
Right.
the 5 studios are releasing 50 movies a year just all together. Where now one
Yeah.
company is releasing like War of the Worlds came out on Amazon Prime, and I think there's already a new movie out on Amazon Prime. Like it just came out
Yeah.
last week, and now there's an already new. So it's like it is just constant
It's just
slog.
the,
And
the
I do
content mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is kind
Right.
of the
Yeah.
most negative thing about the streaming age is that like it's
just
so much,
oversaturated,
there's just
no matter
so many
what.
movies and there's so little
Yeah.
care to
So
so
many
many
TV
of
Right,
them.
shows.
and I think that's
And I
kind of
think
like it push like because good stuff exists, like, but like
right.
it just gets pushed down because it's like such a bigger drop in the bucket. So it's like if you're scrolling and you're like, oh, I want to take a chance on a movie,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, cool. Was this something that some guy really cared about that was made for $20,000? You know, with like real actors, or is it like this? You know, where it's just
Right.
like, and it's just it's all
And it
homogenous. You know,
it is also the thing where it's like it is, if anything, it's disappointing that like Ice Cube and all these actors agreed to this. You know, like why
Yeah.
And again,
yeah.
if it was me, I would have been like, yeah, give me that money. I don't care. I'll get arrested for the cops. I don't know what's going on.
It's also
Yeah.
just,
And it's also, oh, we forgot to say this too. When Coulson gets arrested, it's like the most photoshopped head on a body picture ever. He's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I
and
mean,
this
it
is all
is the
pre
thing.
AIR, but you can
Yeah.
see everywhere where they would have used AIR because they did like the worst Photoshop in the world. So it's like, even though it predates like AI art and like ChatGPT stuff, this whole movie feels like the herald of that. You know,
I kind of feel like
Yeah.
we broke Josh's brain with this movie because he's
I-
like,
I
I
did-
know.
now
yeah,
he's on a
it's-
tangent about
Never goes
AI
on a
art.
dare.
Well, this is like AI art before AI art. 'Cause
I will say, Josh has more passion in what he's saying in the last 10 minutes than any character in
Than
that
Ice
entire
Cube had,
movie.
yeah.
Right.
Because
Right.
I just
Maybe in
think
any
about,
podcast that we've ever recorded.
like we've watched a lot of crap. It's almost like if you know, I'm sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you're familiar with like Red Letter Media and like Best of the Worst. Well, they're just watch like, oh, this movie was made in the '80s in a warehouse with a bunch of boxes to try to trick you into thinking it's Terminator, so you watch it by mistake. And all of those movies
Yeah.
have so much more care and like thought put into them than this. That like,
As someone who watched those movies, they do not. Like, let's not be
Like,
a little bit
there's-
real about.
there's at least a guy in a real location walking around shooting people with a fake gun, and it's gonna
That
be
is true.
terrible and boring, you know. But there's
Yeah.
like something.
I
there.
do remember there was one movie I saw where they like walked in a hallway, but it was the same hallway, and they would just walk back and forth. But they didn't even like
Yeah.
try to make it look like a different
Yeah,
hallway. Like it had like a big crack, and that crack was every single time they
'cause
walked
that's almost
any
like,
hallway in that
I
building.
feel like if like
Right.
you're watching a movie like that, you're like, oh, this is like fun bad. Whereas with this movie, I would almost say like, you don't even want to watch the whole thing. You maybe want to watch the first 10 minutes and last 10 minutes, because if you watch the whole thing, it will like drain you a little bit. To be like, oh my god, what is this? You know?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think to me the most disappointing thing is that there, like I said, there could have been like there's a good idea in this idea of like, oh, we're in like we're
Yeah.
seeing it from how the defense community was gonna do it.
Yeah.
Maybe not be so pro. Oh, and we forgot to say this, but at the very end, he's like, "Oh, now I'm gonna watch the government instead of the government watching us." And it's like that's still bad, Ice Cube. Like, stop spying on people. Like, that's not. You learn the wrong lesson every single time.
Right.
It'd be like at the end of The Dark Knight where he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna turn on all the cameras, but only for the bad guys." It's like that's the same
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah,
Batman.
That's the same like ontological problem. Yeah, no, it's just. But I don't even like kind of give the movie that much because it's like every movie about surveillance almost arrives at that conclusion where they're like, no, it's fine.
Well, yeah,
don't worry about
as they
it,
should.
You know?
Yeah,
You know?
but yeah, but I think there's a good idea. There could have been a good idea. I think it's just executed pretty cheaply.
Yeah,
Like I said, I think it's
Sorkin's good.
rushed more than anything else.
But you could almost
Yeah,
see like
made during a
it's
pandemic.
Searching and Cloverfield combined. Like that's a cool idea because like you have the on the ground people and then you have the guy in the office. You know, it's like
Yeah, or
that
like,
could
Yeah.
be really strong in a
and
movie
see,
that
I
it
knew,
cared, you
I
know?
mean, I knew it was gonna be Ice Cube in a computer, but I didn't realize, like, yeah, they could have had like Eva Longoria is clearly just walking around her house, you know. And I know it's COVID time, but man, like, do something else. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that was the Bomb Squad. Josh hates art, or
No, I love art. That's why I hate that this movie killed art.
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh found a way to over hate a movie we all hate.
No, I hate
which
it the
is-
correct amount. You guys don't.
But yes, that is the 2025. I would say, I don't know. I wouldn't really recommend this at all. I would watch the preview. You'll get the same. You'll get what you get out of this movie.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
fine.
it's
pretty terrible.
It's pretty bad.
Watch the
It's
last
not
10
have a
minutes
fun
where
artifact.
Amazon gift card saves the day. That's the
And I
funniest
think,
part.
see,
Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
To
If you
me-
can find a way to watch this not on Amazon Prime, watch it that way.
and
Like-
to me, that's another problem with the streaming universe, you know, is that nobody like this, like you think of The Room and how that movie became slowly discovered, but as it was coming out, like people were sharing about it, people were talking about it in this new world that we live in. Like this movie got a 0%, and like people would kind of talk about how bad this movie was, but there was no specifics because you can almost tell that nobody actually watched it. So there, you don't even
Yeah.
get that communal like experience of everyone seeing the same
Kind of
bad
trashing
movie.
it. Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, it just ends up, and even like good or bad, that's another problem with streaming is that these movies, like Happy Gilmore came out like a month ago. That movie's all right, but nobody's talking about it anymore because it's now we're watching Wednesday. Now we're
Yeah,
watching
it's
Wednesday
old news.
season
That's
2.
like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that is the frustrating thing because it's like after Game of Thrones finale was the last big, like everyone watched this and it was like a huge event. Now it's like, even if a movie like Superman just came out, did really well, like broke all these records, good movie, loved it. But it's also like, oh, now it's like a week later, people have like moved on. You know, it's like nothing
Well,
can stay in the
you pick
cultural
like
consciousness.
you picked the worst example ever because people are still talking about Superman.
I mean, you and I are, but it's also like,
Oh my god, are you on Twitter?
yeah, they're
the
talking
James
about
Gunn-
weapons.
The James Gunn and Snyder, like you can't say that Snyder fans aren't talking about Superman because that's their whole life.
Well, yeah, I mean that's like a small, like there's no big cultural thing everyone's
That is-
like about.
Well, and it is like, yeah,
Avatar
I mean,
might be it every time it comes out every few years.
Jurassic
Avatar
Park
comes.
is a good example because nobody cared about Jurassic Park, and it made $700 million. But,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's depressing.
Streaming world, it's bad.
Streaming's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so welcome to the welcome to the Bomb Squad. I forgot we even recorded an episode. That's how boring this movie is.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this movie longer than
Yeah,
the
it's
movie is. We're like going
Yeah, we're getting
on
there.
its runtime.
I
We're
know.
getting there.
Well, I keep trying to end it.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's so
Let's wrap this up.
bad.
Let's wrap this up, guys.
But I'm trying to play Josh off. He's not getting any. He's like talking about AI. It's like bringing up like the
Can't
art
tell you how
This
much-
movie's
scene.
been in my mind for
How
too
much
long.
I yelled at my screen watching this that I was like angry that it existed.
When you're watching, okay, here's how you watch this movie. Watch this movie, but just imagine Josh getting madder and madder the dumber it gets,
Right.
because it doesn't ever get smart, even a little bit. But yes, next week we're gonna have an over or underrated movie instead of an overhated movie. So we'll see you guys then on the Bizzity Bomb Squad, War of the Bombs.